Lacey.
And I'm Sam.
Welcome to Monster Soup and Creature Brews, the podcast where we talk about all things monster movies, big, small, creepy, or downright ridiculous.
From movie monsters to cryptids lurking in the shadows of folklore, we're here to explore them all. So kick back, grab a snack,
or a drink,
and let's dive into some monster-filled mayhem.
With all the TV Sheldon was talking about, I had the greatest idea ever. It even blows away my idea for a Star Wars-themed coffee shop called Brewbacca's. You need to watch Buffy The Vampire Slayer. It is the perfect show for the two of us. It's got action and jokes and hot vampires and romance. I cannot oversell this. What do you say?
And with those enthusiastic words from Leonard Hofstadter from The Big Bang Theory, welcome to our newest episode. Today we're watching Buffy in real time, or as close as we can get without actually being live, because we're not going to do that. We're hitting play, and then we're recording our thoughts and seeing what kind of vampire nonsense unfolds.
Should be fun.
Yeah, and just to start off, we're going to be changing things up a little bit moving forward. We're going to be doing a movie followed by a TV show, and at this moment we're going to be doing a recap of Buffy. Third will probably be some sort of creature feature where we talk about various cryptids, and then we'll cycle back to movies.
Yeah, and this is no hard and fast rule, so we'll try to stick to a schedule, but it's probably going to be what it is.
Yeah, to reiterate, we do both work full-time, and we have children and social lives, and we make no money doing this. It's just for fun. So we aren't as dedicated is not the word I want to use, as hard-lined about our podcast as I think some other creators are.
Right. People try to keep strict timelines and whatever, and we're just like loosey-goosey. We try to keep it on a timeline, but in reality, it's like we'll do it when we can do it. So
I try very hard to release the episodes on Tuesdays. That is my expected timeline to release them, but unfortunately, sometimes life happens. In particular, this week as an example, I worked most of this weekend on a work crisis, and I will probably be working 13, 14-hour days all week long. And then this coming weekend, I will be chaperoning a Girl Scouts camping trip in the Pines with my daughter's troop. So I will be freezing cold and watching a bunch of children that don't belong to me.
I'm glad I'm not going to be there.
I love our daughter, and she has so much fun, and I love being involved. I do not like being cold, and it does get cold where we live. So I'm not looking forward to that aspect of it. But that's all just to say that given the week I'm anticipating with work, which will be brutal, and the weekend with my daughter and her Girl Scout troop, I will have very limited free time. Sam will be here with our other child, managing our animals in the household. So next week's episode will probably be late just because of life circumstances, unfortunately.
It is what it is.
But we're so happy you guys could join us. We're so happy you tune in and listen. Thank you for that. And we hope that you like Buffy, because that's what we decided to do. We took a little bit of a vote, and this is the one that won. And I have never actually watched Buffy before. Have you?
I have watched quite a bit of Buffy. I watched the combination of all the shows. So I watched Buffy. I watched Angel, because they were doing a lot of cross-universe things around this time period, which I think is interesting that people think Marvel did it first with their whole multiverse. I'm like, bro, people have been doing multiverses for a long time.
Yeah. I have an auntie who struggles a little bit with mental health and depression and some other things along those lines, and this was one of her comfort shows. This and Charmed, actually. I
love Charmed. My mom really liked Charmed, so I saw it a lot growing up. And I have some friends. I won't shout out their last names, but Autumn, Ashley, and Nicole, y'all know who you are. They used to pretend to be the trio.
Nice. Anyways, this was one of her comfort shows, so I have seen sporadic episodes of this, but I've never done an actual true straight through watch. And I think Buffy was popular around the time where my parents didn't have any kind of TV or technology, really.
Yeah, I probably watched more reruns than watching it live come out.
Yeah.
Because, these shows played on loop for a decade, so.
Yeah, so I do think that I have seen occasional episodes, but I can't tell you any kind of continuity other than I do know that Buffy is Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Oh yeah, if you like Gilmore Girls, go watch Sleeping with Zucchinis, I think that's what it's called. My friend Devin and Chris are watching every episode ever of Gilmore Girls. So if that's your jam, go watch them.
Which Sam couldn't remember the name of that in our last podcast episode.
I actually did not even know the name because they hadn't released the episode yet, but their episode's out now. So
Nice.
And I watched it. So if you like my opinion, it's actually kind of good. Chris doesn't like the show. Devin likes the show. So you can imagine it's interesting listening to them talk it through.
All right, ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Is there anything you'd like to add before we get started?
Buckle up. You guys are in for a ride. Some 90s nostalgia. Hard.
This is Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Season 1, Episode 1. Welcome to the Hellmouth. And we start this episode with a very 90s compilation of images. And it talks about how there's a destined slayer every generation.
It's like their opening. That's the same opening. That's just their opening scene. Where they just talk about how Buffy's the chosen one for this generation or whatever.
I want you to know that it is not sexy to bring your date into a high school to try to have sex with them.
Your old high school. Like breaking and entering. What a first date.
It should have been suspicious that she was even game to do this, to be totally honest with you, because the very first thing you see is, I'm going to call him Chad, a 90s Chad breaking into your standard high school to try to take his date up to the roof because it's got a good view.
So they try really hard to show that this is a high school, and they have like a bunch of things that you wouldn't normally find in a high school room, like a bunch of bones, skeletons. There's like a skull and like a glass case. It's kind of crazy.
To be fair, my high school biology lab had those too.
We had like a mock-up like cadaver, like a fake one where you could see everything. That's about it.
Oh, do you guys know who this actress is in this scene right here in the opening scene? She's our first vampire we see. That is Dexter's wife who gets murdered from the show Dexter.
Oh, so it was a vampire slayer that killed his wife, huh?
Yeah. So this scene is really set up to make you think that the man in it is the bad guy, and then they do a little switcheroo, and it turns out Dexter's wife is actually evil.
God, the vampires in this show? Ugly.
The makeup was a choice. They really look like Star Trek Klingons.
They literally just look like Klingons. They just wrinkled their face and gave them fangs.
Maybe it's just really easy to do that look, though.
Has to be. I feel like I saw it in a lot of monsters in that time period. Like, monsters only have really scrunched up faces.
Half of the cast in this show looks age appropriate, and half the cast does not.
Yeah. Allison Hannigan, Lily, if anyone's watched How I Met Your Mother, looks really, really young. To be fair, a lot of that's her wardrobe. Everyone outside of her and Sarah Michelle Gellar looks like 25. They don't look like teenagers.
I'll give some of them the benefit of the doubt and say 22. With just, like, old school makeup.
Nah, before we even looked it up, I called out old boy. And I was like, he looks 25. We looked it up. He was 25 when they recorded this. All right. So we have Buffy having, like, all these, like, images flashing while she's dreaming. They look like symbols and monsters.
She's having some nightmares. Life's hard.
I mean, she has been killing these things since she was like 13, so it's not that crazy that she would have these nightmares.
I don't know the lore, but I'm assuming the Slayer thing isn't, like, inherited. Because her mom's not a Slayer, is she?
Because there can only be one in existence at a time, so, like, her great-grandmother might need to die before, you know, the next one gets born. I don't know 100%, though.
It's a really ineffective way to hunt vampires and kill them, is to do it that way.
Not like there's any science behind it. It's just, it is what it is.
Oh, man, the outfits.
Yeah, I like how these are all short school buses. None of these are regular school buses.
Maybe they were easier to rent.
And her mom had the brilliant idea to drop her off in the very front of the school on her first day. To be fair, I mean, lots of kids in high school got dropped off by their parents. It wasn't really... They always make it like some big thing that it's embarrassing to have your parents drop you off, but it's like, think about how many kids got dropped off at your high school. It's a very normal thing.
It is. So anyways, Buffy's mom tells her to have a good day and try not to get kicked out.
And we have our first 25-year-old skateboarding and trying to dodge everyone. And then runs into a pole because he's staring at Buffy.
He was staring at Buffy's ass, to be clear.
She ain't got no ass.
He was still staring at it.
Fair.
And then poor Willow looks like she's been dressed by her grandmother.
Accurate. Look at the girl right behind in the skates. Also an adult. Look at that guy. Look at his hairline. I'm just literally people watching all the people behind them.
Well, you got to get your extras where you can get your extras.
They must have been digging deep for these extras because these are full-blown adults.
Okay, so we did a pre-watch of this just because I had never seen it, and this is my favorite scene in this whole episode is when she meets with the principal and he rips up her, I'm going to assume it's supposed to be like her permanent record, and he clearly doesn't even read it. It just gives her a like canned speech about how the past is the past and I'm not interested in what's on this piece of paper, but then he starts to read it and is like, oh, and tapes it back together.
Yeah, and he's like, wait a second, you lit a building on fire? Hold up. And then he starts taping it back together as he's talking to her, still trying to like pretend like it's not a big deal. But he's like, I'm probably going to want to keep this just in case.
Yeah, apparently she burned down the gym at her last school.
I'm sure it was monster related.
Yeah, she says the gym was full of vampires. Well, she starts to say it, then she says it was actually full of asbestos.
Not only does he tape it back together, but he makes sure to put it right back in the file so it doesn't go missing.
And he tells her that if the school's needs and her needs don't mesh, then, you know, perhaps this isn't the school for her, which, encouraging.
She runs into skateboarder boy in the hall. She dropped all her books because she's clumsy. And he's trying to be nice guy, talk to new girl. His name is Xander. He's fucking 25.
When we Googled him, because we were arguing about his real age, he has an interesting mugshot. I didn't click on it, but he looks rough in current day.
Yeah. Oh boy, clearly been through some stuff.
Drugs. It's always drugs.
I mean, he peaked in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I don't think I've ever seen him in anything else. He doesn't look familiar.
So Xander picks up a wooden stake that Buffy left behind and just decides to keep that for some reason. And now we have a high school teacher talking about the Black Death.
You can't tell me that girl right there looks like a high schooler. You know, I never clocked any of this when I was watching this as a kid, that these are all fucking adults.
Because you're a kid. You don't notice that kind of stuff as a kid.
Well, no. What happens is you think that's what you're going to look like when you're in high school, and you still look like a kid when you're in high school.
I don't know. We do have that... Maybe they don't have it anymore. We did have that Florida rule where no kid left behind, and if you failed the grades,
you
they
had like
just
20 and 21-year-olds that were still in high school?
So maybe she's just like failed, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th grade.
Maybe.
Anyways, this girl, whose name we don't know quite yet, is making nice with Buffy because she's from LA, and she wants to be besties with her, even though they don't know each other, because she thinks LA is cool.
She has like a little mini 20 questions to figure out her cool factor. So she just starts asking her questions, and it seems like Buffy passes with flying colors because they still seem to be pretty close.
This is very of the era questions because the only one I recognized was when they asked about Frappuccinos.
Yeah.
Then this girl starts to bully Willow about her unfortunate dress choice. Oh, her mom picked it out, not her grandma.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying people didn't bully in high school. The 90s bully trope is crazy. Like, people will just villains, straight black Air Force energy all the time. And it's like on site for certain people.
Okay, so our next scene is Cool Girl, whose name I still don't actually know, is inviting her to the Bronze, which is a club that apparently allows teenagers to also party.
Which we had a long discussion about, like, teenage clubs and why they were a problem.
It's obvious why they were a problem. And I mean, take out the vampires in this and just insert date rape drugs, and you can still see why it would be a problem.
Indeed. Now, I was a hardcore Christian when I was growing up, so we went to, like, teen scenes and stuff, and it was nothing like the craziness that these are.
I kind of enjoy that you were hardcore Christian growing up, because I was not.
Well, by the time you met me, I was already starting to come out of that, so it was good timing.
Okay, so Buffy has wandered into the library, is our next scene here, and she's now talking to a librarian who, what's his name? Giles.
Gillis?
No.
I think it's Giles. I think in the show they call him a watcher. He pretty much is like the historian for all. He's supposed to train the Slayer or whatever.
Well, she goes in a library because she's looking for books on the Black Plague, and instead he pulls out this thick, ridiculous-looking book manual all about vampires.
Yeah, it looks like an ancient tome, and it says Vampire on front. And she's like, you know what? This guy's crazy. I don't want anything to do with this. I already burned a building in my last school. I'm getting out of here.
Which, if you are the Watcher and you know that you're going to be trying to approach a, like, teenager who maybe is deep into her feels, and hormones. I feel like there are more graceful ways to segue that and introduce yourself. So now we're in a locker room and we see the 90s creep Chad fall out of a locker and a bunch of girls are screaming. God, it would be so my luck in that moment. I would have been like halfway undressed in that moment.
Like half naked,
Yeah.
and then dead dude falls on you.
That would totally have been my luck. I do think that I dressed our daughter, PJ, in this. The outfit that Willow's wearing that looks almost exactly like it for her preschool photos.
Oh, I think you did. You did.
Yeah.
I definitely remember that.
Except instead of the little check marks, it was still green, but it had like little cute foxes all over it. My grandmother sewed
That
it.
kind of outfit is cute on an elementary school kid, not a high school girl.
It was really cute on her. She looked really good in her preschool pictures. They're really cute. I like them a
I'm gonna
lot.
keep it a buck. I'm pretty sure we have a picture of my sister when she was in kindergarten in the almost exact same outfit. She had like a apple barrel behind her. Anyways, Buffy's talking to Willow. She's asking her about the librarian because Buffy's trying to figure out like, how did this guy find me? How does he know who I am? And blah, blah, blah. And Xander and his goon buddy. Do we ever get his name? Jesse and Xander. You know, every time I see these shows, I try to remember, were we this cringy in high school? And I can't definitively say no.
Yeah.
I feel like I used to do things because I thought it looked cool. And looking back, it probably looked stupid.
Honey, you went to teen zines. You were cringy.
Yeah, but once I was in high school, it wasn't nearly as bad.
Oh, Cordelia. That's the mean girl's name. And she's judging Buffy for hanging out with Willow and Xander and Jesse.
Oh, she's actually talking about the fact that they found someone dead in a locker.
After the judging.
Well, of course, judging first. She said, were there marks? She was morbid much.
And then Buffy sneaks into the locker room. No, there's no caution tape. There's no police.
Are they just holding the body somewhere? Like, what is going on? Oh, God. How did she broke the door.
Slayer strength. So she sneaks in. There's no police. They've just like covered this body in a blanket.
Oh, and we see teeth marks. It doesn't even look like teeth marks. It looks like someone ripped the whole side of his neck.
Which I feel like it's a reasonable assumption if a school finds a dead body, they call the cops and cordon off the area and they just don't toss a blanket over it.
Right? And there would be teachers making sure no student accidentally walks in there. Because they obviously don't want to, like, one, damage the crime scene as well as, like, traumatize a student. Buffy's went back to the library to find Giles because she wants to investigate. And she's like, hey, you need to do something. There's a vampire. He said, that ain't my problem. I'm a watcher. I train. I don't dupe. And Buffy comes to the realization that she's the one who didn't want to come here and do this, but then she came back and still did it anyways. They give a brief explanation of how a vampire turns.
And in this universe, it's the very traditional, the vampire sucks your blood, then you suck the vampire's blood, then you rise.
Here we go. We're getting this speech about you're the chosen one. There's only one Slayer in every generation. Blah, 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 blah.
I'd really like a prequel explaining who told her this, because it's clearly not her mom.
We'll eventually have to watch the Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie. Hopefully they give us more detail.
Oh yeah, good point. So Giles is telling her about how he believes this entire area is a place where like mystical creatures congregate and are drawn to. And he talks about zombies, werewolves, succubi, incubus, which are basically the same thing. They're just the difference between a boy and a girl.
Male and female.
Yeah. Buffy's telling him that she's retired and asking him to kill them. And he's like, nah, I don't do that. Kind of seems like even if you are a watcher, it'd be a good skill to brush up on just in case. Because if I was a vampire, probably one of the first things I would do if I was attempting to seize power would be to murder the dude who's supposed to educate the Slayer.
Right? I would be a little more on the DL and not just spill all my guts out to the first person who walked up and asked me a question.
And granted, politics are hard, so we don't know. But I feel like it'd be pretty easy to murder him and then put her at a huge handicap.
Any strategist worth their salt would definitely target the, like, brains. And, like, look, Xander was in the back of the library the whole time that they were talking about that, so he heard every word. If Xander had been a vampire, I'd just off Giles as soon as he came back. Oh, there's already one dead body there.
I mean, they can't go out in the sunlight, but still, you could just, like, do what stalkers do and hang out in Giles' like, closet all day.
Right? Or just... It's very often that vampires have, like, thralls. It wouldn't be unheard of to have a thrall or a spy. Especially once they know Buffy is a student, just send a spy in. I don't even need the spy to do anything. If he just listens, we're going to know everything we need to know.
He doesn't even probably have to listen that hard, to be honest with you. It's a high school. People gossip.
Yeah, and it's not like they were trying to hide too much either.
Okay, so now we've drifted underground. There's a lot of candles. It's a big fire hazard. The ambiance is choice, though. You know, if I was going to make a vampire cave of creepiness, I would want these kind of candles.
Who's walking around lighting all these candles, though?
That's the bit that they never show you when evil villains have to, like, work up to their giant grand speeches as the setup.
Yeah, they had to have had someone, like, what, they have a Google Calendar, and they're like, hey, Igor, I need you to go light all of the candles in all the rooms, literally minutes before we start. Other words, you know, they'll melt down too far. God, the vampires in this series, ugly.
He's giving a typical evil villain speech.
Well, he's like praying, which is also kind of funny for a vampire.
And then we flick back to Buffy. She's choosing her outfit tonight for the club. And she ends up going with a really unusual choice, I would say, actually.
She looks like she's going for an interview.
It does end up looking like she's going for an interview.
Yeah, it doesn't look like something you would wear to a club. Again, it's crazy that her mother is completely okay with her daughter in this brand new town that they've never been in, allowed to go to a teen club alone with no supervision.
Her daughter, who was just kicked out for arson.
Right? My goodness. My daughter or son would not be going nowhere where I could not see them outside of school hours. I would be dropping them off and I'd be picking them up.
The mom's concerned about the dangers of over-nurturing.
When her daughter lit a building on fire.
I think there is some dangers when it comes to being a helicopter parent and not allowing your kids to make mistakes and grow, because kids need to be allowed the space to make those mistakes so that they learn from them. But I don't know that I would classify that under over-nurturing.
Especially not if they lit a building on fire. Like, that's a hard line in the sand for me. Yeah, she literally looks like she's dressed up for an interview.
She's wearing a blue button down. She's got a French twist.
And she's walking down the street alone. And some dude just randomly starts following her. For those who know about these shows, it's Angel. Because he naturally has to make his appearance early and often.
Excuse you. That's FBI Agent Booth.
Oh, Bones? Bones?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I'm pretty sure I know that name.
Yes, that is FBI Agent Seeley Booth.
That's obviously Angel's cover. Okay? He spent many a lifetime.
By the way, I don't know that running into a dilapidated warehouse when a man is following you is a good move, per se. Even outside of the whole vampire thing.
I was about to say, if she wasn't the Slayer, yes, I would agree with you. This would be a terrible decision if you're just a random teenage girl.
They must be in walking distance of this club, wherever she's at, because she's 16. Hypothetically, she could drive. I guess you can't be attacked by a vampire if you're not walking, though.
Yep.
Okay, so she does some, like, crazy handstand shit on this random pipe inside this dilapidated warehouse, and now she's, like, standing on Agent Booth's chest, and he's reassuring her that he doesn't bite. Haha, vampire joke. And then she just lets him up, like, cool, that's cool, dude. I believe you. She doesn't even have his name.
Yeah, look at that ring on her finger. She has this huge, like, ring pop.
He tells her that he thought she'd be taller.
Even though she just kicked his ass. She just knocked him flat on his ass, and he still has some snarky comments to say. If we didn't watch so much Scooby-Doo, it would be so much easier to watch this. Because like, every time she's talking, I'm thinking Daphne.
Yeah, so we do actually have a Scooby-Doo episode. If you guys are interested, it's a previous episode on this podcast. Our daughter loves it. We watch it so much. The first Scooby-Doo and the second one. There is two, believe it or not.
Yep. All right, so Angel tips her off. He hands her something and then tips her off that she needs to be ready for this so-called harvest. And then he says, she asked him, how did he know about her? And he's like, oh, I got a friend. And then he walks away all mysterious like. And it's a cross.
It is the most basic bitch silver cross I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's not even a good one because you can see the creases. It wasn't made in one cast. It looks like two pieces were melded together.
It looks cheap as shit. It looks like something you'd buy from the Dollar Tree.
We got to remember this is a pilot, I guess.
I want to know what the age rules are on this particular club, because Buffy's in here, so are all the rest of her high school classmates. But so is Giles.
Yeah, Giles is... Like, you would think when they let in, like, 18 and below, that there would be a hard limit on how old they would let you in.
I think there's supposed to be. And they must not serve alcohol at this club because they don't X their hands.
Oh, yeah, they don't mark them. I remember those days.
So do I.
There were less clubs with more shows. They did the same thing in shows.
To all my Florida homies out there, a little alcohol swab that you use for like Band-Aids will take that ink right off your hands.
You were a deviant.
Yeah. I was. I'm tame now, though. So we see Willow at this club, and I'm actually surprised because this doesn't seem like something her mother would let her do because she's still dressed like a pilgrim.
She looks like she's wearing like a nightgown, like a old frocky nightgown.
So I'm just assuming that Willow's mom is perhaps conservative. She also tells Buffy about a time her and Xander dated when they were 5. So I'm going to say that she's probably
Delusional.
not delusional. I was going to say sheltered. But she clearly has a huge crush on Xander.
It's so sad. Willow talks about trying to talk to guys, but she's like, the most I get out is a couple vowel sounds, and then I have to walk away. She gives some normally sound advice to Willow, but it's going to backfire. We find out later. She tells her to live in the moment, essentially. Like, life is short. And she manages to find the one vampire in the room and gets whisked away.
Honestly, I don't know that this is good advice for a teenager, though.
But for Willow, who's like so sheltered and like refuses to like step outside of her box ever.
Yeah, she's clearly shy.
Well, the thing about girls like Willow is that, and this goes for boys too, but if they don't do anything in high school, they go away for college and fucking lose it. They like go balls to the walls. It's not healthy.
Giles is wearing a like 3-piece suit in this club and tweed. It looks like he's wearing tweed. So he has to be beyond hot and uncomfortable.
Yeah, it looks muggy in there.
I mean, every club I've ever been to like this, it's hot with all the bodies.
Yeah, the body heat.
They're not usually well ventilated either.
Yeah, I mean, this looks like a warehouse.
Yeah, I mean, half at Ybor looks like this.
It's not wrong. But essentially, Giles and Buffy are talking about the harvest. She's talking about her run-in with Angel, and they're trying to piece together what the harvest could mean or what's going on with it.
Well, he is. She's not. She's being a teenager.
Yeah, she's not interested.
And then he chooses to stand behind her in the creepiest fucking way.
Uncomfortably close. Like husband and wife close. Like Rose and Jack on the fucking Titanic close.
So that he can talk into her ear.
And we gotta remember, he's like, gotta be like 35 plus here, right?
No, 40 plus. Easy.
You think so?
He has crow's feet.
Oh, fair. Oh, we see Delia talk, essentially being like, why
Cordelia.
are all these... What?
I think her name's Cordelia.
Cordelia, sorry. So what did I say, Delia?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cordelia's just talking about all these creepy guys and how she can't stand Jesse, who comes up again and tries to talk to her.
Do you think that Giles came to this club hoping to run into her, to talk to her more? Like a little light stalking? Or do you think this is his casual, like, Tuesday night hangout?
That's a good question, because I don't remember them mentioning that they were going to go to this club. You know, like, she was like, let's meet at the club and we can see if we can brainstorm on what's going on.
Or, like, do you think he just hangs out in this club to see if he can spot vampires? Like, this is an odd choice for a librarian in tweed.
Well, I think it's funny because he does mention, like, how will we find these vampires? Not like they're wearing a signpost. And then she takes, like, 5 seconds and manages to spot a vampire. This is, I love this moment because this is a very, what's the movie called? Legally Blonde moment. She dissects his outfit and classifies him as a vampire because he's like, that outfit is so old and was only popular in this time period. Oh, yeah. Then she clocks, this guy's talking to Willow and Willow's like,
time to seize the moment. YOLO.
Yep. And she gets snatched up by this dude and gets let out of the club.
Okay, but like, to just take a detour here, how offended would you be if somebody accused you of being a vampire and made fun of your outfit and you're like, I just like these jeans?
I mean, true, but he's clearly a pedo too, because there's no way he's trying to play off an 18-year-old, right?
16. They're in the same grade. At best, she's 17, but I'd actually go young.
The guy that's walking away?
No, Willow.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the guy that's taking Willow. That's a grown-ass man.
No, and for the record, vampires are probably not an active factor in the clubs, but human trafficking is. Don't wander off with strange men you meet down dark alleyways. This is how you end up in like a tragic Lifetime TV movie. Oh, Buffy tries to stake Cordelia and just ruins any chance she was gonna get about being a cool girl.
And Cordelia immediately takes out a very, very ancient cell phone and she pulls up the antenna on and says she's gonna tell everyone. Her social life is about to hit the tank.
I mean, it was probably only a matter of time because she was talking to Willow to be nice to her because Cordelia was so mean.
Yeah, she was probably boned to start with.
Oh, and then we see Jesse in his Charlie Brown sweater talking with Darla, who is Dexter's wife.
She looks so airheady here.
She's also dressed business casual, which I feel like should be kind of a
red flag?
Yeah. Maybe that was the look, though. The vampire teeth in this series look like they would have been hard to put in your mouth.
A little bit.
Now we see Lord Voldemort rising from a mud puddle.
Oh, that's accurate. He does look like Voldemort. Old Tom Riddle himself. If Voldemort had a regular nose. He actually looks like a cross between a gremlin, or are they gremlins in the bank? It kind of looks like a gremlin and Voldemort had a baby.
I mean, all he has is the nose. He just hasn't had it chopped off quite yet. He's complaining about being weak. And come the harvest, he will be restored. Which I suppose you could infer means the harvest means a lot of people are going to die. And then you can see that he's trapped through some sort of like bubble warp wall thing.
Oh, I didn't notice that the first time. So he can't like leave.
Yes, so he sent Darla and 70s Perv to go get food. And Voldemort is asking for something young.
Nice and creepy.
Once again, even if this dude was not a vampire... This is not a good plan to just be walking with him alone in the dead of night. None of your friends know where you are. And when he tries to take her the wrong way, she ignores every single instinct screaming at her that this is not the way of the ice cream shop and just wanders into the cemetery with him.
Complete stranger.
That's how you die. This is how you get murdered. And she almost does. Spoiler alert. Is it a spoiler if this show came out in 1997?
Nah, not at this point. If you were going to watch it, you watched it. If you're not, you're not.
So Xander has run into Buffy, and Xander's making fun of vampires because he doesn't actually think they're real.
And he overheard their conversation in the library. He accuses her of thinking she thinks she's the Slayer.
But she's a hot girl, so he's not bothered by that level of delusion.
Nope.
She's in the right point on the hot crazy scale.
Oh yeah, the graph.
Which is another How I Met Your Mother reference. Okay, Willow's going, are you sure this is faster? Girl, even if he was human, you would still be getting murdered tonight.
Yeah, like, at what point does she, like...
Scream and run?
Yeah.
This is the point right here where he's, like, touching her. You should be screaming and running.
He's, like, creepily moving her hair behind her neck.
And she's freaking out, too, right now. You can tell she's realized she fucked up.
Yep. He throws her into a mausoleum, and she's still like, well, this isn't funny. Like, Willow, catch a clue.
Murder usually isn't. It's not usually a super light and fluffy thing.
I think I'm gonna go. And we run into the other vampire, Darla.
Darla's disappointed because I guess he didn't bring back a fat girl. Because Willow's not enough to share.
Yep. And lo and behold, Jessie walks in after having been bitten.
Jessie looks like shit.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think she already drained him.
And Jessie promptly collapses on the stone steps.
He says, I think you gave me a hickey. I was like, yeah, the 2 holes in your neck. It's not a hickey, buddy.
And then Darla's like, meh, I got hungry, a little snacky snack. I gotta tell you, I don't think that I would embrace the, like, quippy comebacks if I was here to stake some vampires.
Well, I think she's trying to lower their guard.
Maybe.
This is a tactic. I mean, she succeeds.
Yes, and Darla and 70s Guy are full Klingon face mode right now.
Yeah, they're trying to, like, corner her, and I'm pretty sure she's about to kick their butts.
And she stakes 70s Guy first.
Yep, she pulls a stake out of her.
And he turns to dust.
Wow, the way they die is kind of insane. And Darla freaks out and runs for it because old boy got easy. Well, I forgot they box a little bit. You would think, I don't know how long she's been a vampire, but you would think as a vampire you would like take the time to learn a little self-defense or something.
Right? Like that would be one of your number one priority. First of all.
Because like strength only gets you so far. Like someone who's more technical than you will whoop you.
Well, you think it would be up there on your priority list just simply because... If anything, boredom at a certain point, you know?
Yeah. Buffy gets grabbed from behind and gets... Oh, damn, she gets slammed against the wall.
Yes, and Darla is being yelled at by the vampire version of a quarterback.
That's accurate description.
He's upset with her because... And she's messing around with this little girl. And then Darla's letting him know that 70s Guy was murdered, and his name was Thomas, actually. Buffy and the quarterback start to fight, but he's huge, and he backhands her. Pretty hard, actually.
Yeah, he's keeping that pan strong. That's what it was.
It's just makes me funny because as you said that, it really did look like he was hitting her with his pan.
Yeah.
So Xander, Willow, and Jesse run into a bunch of vampires outside.
What an interesting way to do that.
Oh, the quarterback snaps Buffy's stake, and then picks her up and throws her into a coffin thingy.
Yeah, she hit the edge of the coffin first. He threw her at the coffin, and she like hits the corner, breaks her back. I'm pretty sure he throws her in the coffin and then closes it.
He does, yeah.
Giles is looking up information about the harvest. We're back with the gang who are surrounded.
And then the vampire quarterback is telling Buffy hell itself is coming to this town. And this is where he throws her into the coffin.
And puts the lid on as well, for good measure.
Actually, this might not be considered a coffin. It is made out of stone. It might be called something else. I don't know. Everybody in my family gets cremated. We don't have these.
I do think there is a term for, like, these that are in mausoleums. I think they're a little different.
Okay, so he doesn't put the lid on, but he, like, leans in like he's gonna bite her as she's laying next to the little dead body skeleton. And then that's where the episode ends.
Oh, I forgot it was a to be continued. I thought he put the lid on.
It's a little awkward of an ending scene because, like, the angle of the camera is right into the quarterback guy's mouth.
It's probably one of those 2-hour opening specials where the first episode is essentially 2 episodes.
Yeah, but it is a weird angle, don't you think?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's like, rah. And then they just to be continued. All right. That is it from us. Do you have anything else?
No, I don't think so. We'll be joining you guys to do the second part of Welcome to the Hellmouth. I need to get a cleaner, like, ending to this podcast.
Oh, we need like a catchphrase or like a
Yeah.
signing off.
We'll figure that out. Anyways, thanks for joining us. We'll hope to see you again next week, and have a good night.
Bye.